I don't know why such disparities continue. It may very well have to do with some requirements the legislature has laid on jurisdictional lines, but I'm not an expert in the election code. That's an adventure in itself. If you've ever looked at the Texas election code, it's a nightmare.
I read before, like over in Great Britain, some of these people, you know, that go to parliamentary members, they have some old castle or something that nobody even lives there. They've got 5 members of parliament just dividing up the turrets, and they don't get a seat.
Richard, we've had,
but that goes back hundreds of years.
Of course. Well, we always have cases of candidates and elected figures who have addresses where, for some reason, you'll find, if you do some digging, you may find 30 or 40 people registered at a 4-room apartment. And it's not really even the candidate's residence, but it's an address of convenience. These things are, for whatever reason, not always given the attention they might be given. But now that you've all decided you will be, yes, sir.
Larry, I guess my question would be, as the Kingwood Tea Party Society, we kind of threw it out here that we've got these open precincts. Hopefully someone will step up. Personally, I think that should be one of our charters, is to make sure that somebody in this group is finding people for those spots, so that come March, they're in the single one that's open. And if Kingwood does that, and the Woodlands does that, and if Katy does that, and Houston, the different organizations around the city, then we'll do a very, very good job of actually making a difference in this election process and in the party platform, instead of just kind of leaving it to, hey, if you know somebody, let them know about it. Because politics in this country used to be, Larry, I like you, you stand for something that I believe in, why don't you run? And you didn't have aspirations for that position. You were asked by the community for that position.
And you took the charge.
And you took the charge. And I think this group and other groups like ours need to do that very thing, or else we'll go through March not being a whole heck of a lot better off than we are now, scratching our heads. And you know, people need to get out of their comfort zone. I don't know about any of this stuff, but I'm going to find out if in Precinct 37 there's somebody there in Montgomery County, and you know what? I'll register, sign up to do it.
Would like to work on that besides more. I'll work on it. Matt?
And maybe, sure, and maybe there's a way in the website that we can better, or maybe you guys already know what precincts people that are already part of the group are in, aside from just what we put on the sheet today. Because I guarantee all these areas have people that are part of this group, but somebody needs to call them and say, you know what, we need you in this position, will you do it? Because otherwise people are going to lay on the couch as our country is stolen from us.
I agree.
You're 100% correct, and I'm glad you said it more strongly than I did. Most of you were of voting age back in the 80s, through the 80s and 90s. And to this day, they still tell the tales about how the so-called Republican right or Christian coalition or religious right showed up and took these slots and had a huge effect on the turnout of elections. It works. You can't get your guy elected if he's not on the ballot. You can't get him on the ballot if you're not involved. Involvement, Harris County, Montgomery County, state of Texas ought to be a model for the darn country. You're 100% right.
Yeah, I love Glenn Beck. I'm one of his biggest fans, but I think he's misguided in wanting to build outside of the parties. The party system is here, we have to work within it, and the party is the people. And if we people here don't get involved, we have nobody to blame but ourselves. Because to be honest, I'm probably real close to the youngest one here, and I was never taught any of this in school. My wife and I, you know, 4 years ago had a guy call running for our precinct chair, wanting us to come out. We didn't know what he wanted. She ended up showing up just because he called 10 times wanting us to be there, but we didn't know anything about any of this stuff. And to be honest, I still don't know a whole lot until being here tonight. And We all need to get
Well, I
better.
have a suggestion.
Yes, Leah.
About how this could happen. Robin, you just did an email that said important questionnaire. That same thing could have said, what is your precinct? Where do you live? And then we could compile and see, go down your list to see where there are vacancies.
We can cross-match that as quickly as we get the information from our folks. Absolutely. That sounds like something we actually started on, and it didn't take off. It's now urgent. Agreed. It's now
Well,
urgent.
I want y'all to use me. I am retired. My time is my own. I've told Robin if there's things that I can help her with, and I'm a go-getter.
Okay.
And I'm fired up and I'm inspired and I'm in every Tea Party, the Kingwood Area Republican Women. That group is 40 years old in Kingwood. And we have about 200 members. So, and I'm trying to get, right now, basic is we have to have registered voters. And you have to be registered by February 1. That gives us December and January. We've got 60 days.
That's correct.
And Republicans don't go to churches like the Democrats do.
No.
Don't follow the
we
rules.
we don't put them on the bus and,
Yeah,
or whatever, the inner city tactics or the ward style tactics, the Chicago or New York style, the Boston style, doesn't fit here in the South. Or at least not on the Republican side. Maybe it does on the Democrat side.
what
Folks,
about in Sheila Jackson Lee's district?
Oh, gosh. Chicago style.
Robin?
I move that you finish and then we chat and figure out how we can make this.
Okay.
Second.
I'm gonna
I
wrap-
don't wanna leave here until we come up with a way that several of us can.
May I have 2 minutes? I yield myself the time I will consume. How's that?
Sounds good.
Okay, for all you aspiring precinct chairmen, Montgomery County too, what does a precinct chairman have to do? I'm gonna sum it up real quick. You're gonna identify voters. You're gonna register voters. You're going to inform voters. Your precinct chairman duties will have you possibly campaigning for decent candidates or being a candidate yourself at some point in both primary and general elections. Your precinct chairman position should have you working as an election judge in your precinct at every election opportunity you get. You will run your precinct convention. You darn well better get yourself elected as a delegate to your Senate District Convention and to the state, where I look forward to seeing you there. And you know what? I'll buy the first round.
One
Bill?
thing, we got meetings to attend, precinct chairs attend the party.
Precinct chairs in Harris County attend 4 meetings a year, quarterly meetings. The cadre or core of precinct chairs comprise the executive committee, which sets policy for the county party. The county party can't go spending lots of money without approval of the precinct chair. The county party can't go issuing statements, endorsements, or positions without the approval of the precinct chairs. You know what? Precinct chairs got it by the shorts if we only choose to exercise that power. Look at it this way. Nobody's going to get elected to office without the precinct chairs behind them. That puts you in a pretty strong position as a precinct chair. Miss Robin, I'm done. I hope you got some information from my rambling comments, and let's do it.